Hi everyone, it's BDevine and hello. It is the full moon in Leo. So here we go. It is going to be tomorrow on the 16th, happening in the morning. I feel like it will. What time does it say? So on Wednesday, February 16th, it is at 11:56 a.m. Eastern Time, okay, which is 8:56 a.m. Pacific Time. For those of you in Australia, it will be that evening, okay, so you'll get it in the evening. So it's sort of at its fullness, most luminous energy, and we move into the energy of Leo, of course. So if you are a Leo, sun sign, moon sign, or rising sign, or actually apparently any of the fixed signs, then this is going to affect you. It is also linked to the August 8th, 2021 new moon that was also in Leo as well. So, how far have you come from August 2021 into now? Okay. And it's also referred to as a snow moon in the Northern Hemisphere. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, we used to get a lot of heavy snowfall occurring in February. Funnily enough, we don't really get, we're in Colorado right now, and there hasn't really been much snow at all this year. So, I am going to be talking today about this full moon and how it's going to affect you. We are also going to take a look today at the Kuan Yin Oracle, which is really lovely. We'll do that second. But first of all, we're going to get a message from the crystal Mandala, like we do, okay? And I'm here to give a talk today, like I'm here to, whatever's coming through is coming through. I'm a Leo sun sign, so, and we just had an Aquarius new moon before this, and that's my moon sign as well. So this has been quite emotional, this journey for myself, because it's also bringing in a lot of emotions anyway, because of the energy of Leo itself ruling the heart and the spine, and also the energy of Venus doing its thing too. There's a couple of other things in here about this. I'll just try to explain it to you. So with Valentine's Day, yesterday, and right on the heels of Venus retrograde hitting the brakes on matters of the heart from December 19th to January 29th, it's likely you could use a pick-me-up. So that's what you can expect to get around these days of February 2022. Over the weekend, the moon was sitting in Cancer. So a lot of people might have been feeling really just angry and upset and just really peed off with how everything is going, how people I know have been going and fighting back a little bit with everything that's going on, and being a part of a group that just wants justice for all, of course, and for everyone to have shared rights also, and not just for some. And the others are struggling. I have a friend, I told you guys before, her daughter has an 8 centimeter blood clot right now, and 6 weeks she's been on thinners, like blood thinners for it, and now they've found another one in her knee. And you know what's happened in October last year is when she had her V, and she's very young. She's I think about 22, and now she has two clots, and they're not really doing anything. The thinners she's been on for 6 weeks, and the size of the clot hasn't changed at all. Now she has another one. So be careful, everybody out there. All right, really trust your intuition with what you feel is correct for yourself. What do you feel is good for a evolving body? What do you think is good for ascension energy to move into a new energy? What do you think is good to put in your physical body? And also, you may just be going through emotions because of this Leo full moon. Whenever there's a full moon, it can be very, very emotional. And I'm just like, today, any little thing, any animal that goes past me, I'm like, oh, look at the animal. I'm just feeling this thing. Yesterday, I was really, really upset. Um, I had gotten myself to a point of letting some anger out as well. And sometimes what can happen is after you've let the anger out, then you have a really good cry, or the emotions are there. Okay. So things are shifting within each one of us. We have to be gentle with ourselves. This is why I wanted to do Kuan Yin today, to give us back some compassion to ourselves. Okay. We're always giving it to everybody else, and we're always lifting everybody else and being responsible for everybody else, and focusing on enlightenment to others and trying to lift the energy all the time. We also need to take care of ourselves, and maybe this is something that's also triggering inside of you. So right now, be really careful what you're putting into your body, how it's making you feel, what treatments you want to have for your life. Do you need them? We can fight off anything naturally for the most part. And we need to just increase our vitamins, vitamin C, make sure we're getting enough vitamin D, make sure that we are eating a lot of green, leafy vegetables, keeping our diet as alkaline as possible, and just doing the best to maintain a very positive outlook in life. So what I've been doing is teaching, obviously, at the Light Leaders Academy, which has been awesome. And we have been doing Zoom calls every week. And on the Zoom calls, some of the information that comes forward and some of the enlightenment that others bring to the table is really amazing. And my light leaders don't know this, but I might ask if we can actually do a panel for the Zoom, and I'll record it, and just talking about each person's perspective on spirituality, where they are right now on their spiritual journey and how they've come to do things. And, maybe this would be helpful for everybody, because my husband and I, we watched the replay of the Zoom call that we just did on Sunday. And it was amazingly funny, insightful. People were getting a lot of healing from listening to other people's stories as well. So perhaps that's something you all might be interested in. And if you want to be a part of the Light Leaders Academy, I just would love to have you there. This is really empowering people to stand in their own energy right now and be ready for those people who are coming forward that are going to need assistance, as this world is changing as we speak, and it has been for some time. It's not always easy. It's not always going to be easy. And I never said it would be, but your mind can make it a lot easier. The way that you're focusing on things can make things a lot more gentle in your life. So we move into this strong and confident full moon in Leo. Okay. And so what this means, it empowers you to take action. If you put your mind on something right now, it's going to succeed because you'll have the confidence of the Leo energy behind you. And full moons it acts on your emotional compass. Okay, it brings things to a close. And I always say, if something is finishing on a full moon, like, someone wants to leave your life or whatever, you need to let them go, okay? There are points when the story, sometimes your stress, pain, trauma, and other challenging feelings come to the surface and you're dealing with it head on, right? Full moons are culmination points, as we said. Everyone has ongoing plots occurring in their life at any given time. Whatever story began around the corresponding new moon, so the opposite of a full moon, right? In the same sign. And this was August the 8th, 2021. It reaches, and remember that was the Lion's Gate, so, right? Is that new moon that was in Leo. Okay, so what were you thinking of bringing in? Downloads, information, the right tribe for yourself, the right person in your life, the right location to be. You were trying to bring in and manifest things. And sometimes just when we're about to see, a miracle occur, something happen in our life, that's when everything feels like it's going to crap, and one thing after another, or someone needs your help over here or over there or over there, and you feel like you're pulled into all of these different directions, right? It is when there's this full moon coming, it's like this emotional fullness that we get, and a need to cut out of our life those things that are nagging at us. If you're the sort of person that has the energy of, wanting to be good and wanting to do the right thing, wanting to help people, wanting to, guide people, you also get targeted, unfortunately, as someone that will do it all. I'm just going to lay all my crap on you and you're going to deal with it all. So unfortunately, although you try to help and you try to be there and you want to be there and you want to create happiness in your life and in the lives of others, it can be really interesting because people will just see that and just take advantage of it. So you're actually also being really called to stand your ground in any situation, in situations that you might not normally do so, in case you upset the apple cart or someone's going to be mad with you, or they might not like you anymore. But you have to say what you feel and what you mean, because if you don't, what ends up taking place is that you get steamrolled and then you get really annoyed about that. And then you're at a point where you're like, God, I try to do all of these things, and, it just keeps coming where I have to do more and more and more. It's just never enough until you make it enough. This was also a hard lesson for myself to learn, because I obviously want the same. Just want to help, want to be able to show people the way to their own light, to embrace their own light energy. And, sometimes what happens is people just dump and dump and dump and expect you to do and do and do, because, I don't know why they feel that that's okay. And sometimes it gets frustrating when that they wouldn't be doing this to somebody else. And it comes from, it's a caring place that you're doing things, that you're giving things, and then it gets taken advantage of. People run with it. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile, as they said, as they say. And sometimes in this work and, doing this kinds of things, it gets upsetting that it feels like sometimes that, even with myself, I can't do enough, and I know I do enough, of course, but sometimes it just feels like, do you want blood out of a stone now? Like, do you want, what next do you want out of me? I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm trying to build this, I'm building that, I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm giving this, I'm giving that, and it's still, why isn't it appreciated, I guess? And this is the point that you may be getting to because of the Leo energy. You don't want to be in a position all the time where you're being steamrolled. How do you get to that position where people respect you and wouldn't dream of asking you? And it comes from being tougher, having to put your foot down in situations so that you don't want to do that, but you're going to have to if the end result is what you're looking for. The end result is going to be respect. The end result is going to be people not taking advantage of you because you're not going to let them. So you have to think about these things. Where in your life are you feeling taken advantage of, right? And why? Why does it bother you? Why does it upset you, right? Okay, so here we, hang on a moment. Okay, so here we go. We are going to look at how this full moon, So check your emotions, close a chapter in order to begin another one. All right, so themes of the February 2022 Leo full moon. Fixed fire signs, Leo. I'm just getting this from shape.com. Fixed fire sign Leo, symbolized by the lion, is ruled by the sun, which oversees image, confidence, and core identity. The fifth sign of the zodiac also rules the fifth house of romance, self-expression, creativity, and pleasure. Action-orientated, proud, loyal, theatrical, assertive, and optimistic, Leos innately believe in themselves and tend to take action in a fearless, self-assured way. Prioritizing love and sharing what's in their hearts, they generously shower their VIPs in shimmering lights, quite often gifts galore. In general, full moons that happen under the influence of the fixed fire sign will nudge you to own your feelings, you see, in a direct, confident Leo way. You'll likely be reflecting on how far you've come since August the 8th. Perhaps in terms of a romantic relationship, your self-image, your creativity, or standing up for yourself and roaring your truth as a lion would. And celebrating a culmination point in your journey. On its own, the Leo full moon is wired to help you step into your power, but it's supercharged with sexy, romantic energy this year, thanks to a conjunction between the planet of love, Venus, and the planet of sex, Mars. On Wednesday, just hours before the full moon is exact, which means it hits its astrological peak, Venus and Mars will pair up in Capricorn. Remember, the Pluto energy is here now. This is why you're seeing people fighting back. It's pretty exciting. We have to. An industrious cardinal earth sign. So while it might be the snowiest time of the year, you can expect these two relationship power players to bring us the hottest day of the year in terms of glowing, sensual vibes. For a sense of what to expect, think back to July 13, 2021, when Venus and Mars last met up, that time in Leo. Their collaboration typically bolsters the ability to tune into and act on your desires and to prioritize love, romance, playfulness, and physical affection. And because the pair up is happening in Capricorn this time around, it'll amplify our willingness to work through any challenges that might be presenting themselves in our romantic lives now. That's because Capricorn, the sign of the sea goats, is ruled by Saturn, the taskmaster planet, which urges you to put your nose to the grindstone to get what you're fantasizing about. The moon will also form a tense, albeit activating square to the nodes of destiny, mathematical points as opposed to celestial bodies, which represent the path you've come from and the one that you're fated to head down. The north node is the future. The south node is the past. On January 18th, they shifted from Gemini and Sagittarius. This is important. From Gemini and Sagittarius into Taurus, which is also love, okay? And Scorpio, okay? That is our past now. And Scorpio is the poison, has the sting. What are we moving past now? The poison, the infection. Okay, we're moving past it now. So Taurus and Scorpio. So this becomes, Scorpio becomes our past karma. Okay. Wow. And on February 16th, the full moon will square them both, signaling a fated opportunity. Depending where and how these squares hit your own astrological chart, and you could be nudged to take action in a way that feels most predestined. It's a case for tuning into your intuition in a major way. Ooh. So if you were born under the sign of Leo, approximately July 23 to August 22. I was born August 21 on a full moon in Aquarius, or with your personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and or Mars in Leo. You'll feel the full moon more than most. More specifically, if you have a personal planet that falls within 5 degrees of the full moon, 28 degrees Leo, you're more likely to be feeling extra emotional, assertive, and ready to share what's in your heart in an unapologetically self-assured way. I think that's me. Similarly, if you were born in a fellow fixed sign Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius, the moon will activate your 4th house of home life, 7th house of partnership, or 10th house of career. Okay? So, the full moon often crank the energy of the moment up to the point that explosions and drama are inevitable. But when the transit occurs in bold, take charge Leo, offers you a chance to channel those powerful vibes into owning your inner voice and expressing yourself proudly and openly. And with Venus and Mars in play, especially in pragmatic, steady Capricorn, you'll feel equally in control and fired up as you make moves toward fulfilling your most passionate desires. Okay? Wow. So we have the energy of passion, we have the energy of forward movement, whatever you were focused on from July 31st, 2021 and August 8th. So that is the part of the Lion's Gate, the 8th of the 8th being a new moon. And we did the Lion's Gate messages for you all right then. Okay, so we set some intentions then to bring forth downloads of information, to bring new energy to our side, to uplift our vibration, to bring in abundance, to bring us into a new direction, to be able to stand firm as we're moving ahead in life, you know. And are you doing these things? Because you will be forced to do these things, right? You will be forced to look at your life, what road you've been going down, whether it's been getting you anywhere or not, you know, what's been happening to you on a personal level as well. Pretty interesting now that, you know, people are beginning to stand up for their self and what they believe to be correct, and that they shouldn't be forced to do things. That's the main point of it, that, you know, that you can't have people die for freedom for a country and then that's just stripped away unless you're, you know, at the Super Bowl, or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to upset anybody, but the whole thing has been a joke. It's been all about control. It's been all about division. And I can tell you right now that the people that are all coming together, and it's happening here in the United States, of course, as well, they're coming together in brotherhood, arm in arm, we the people energy. They did it in Canberra, in Australia. They're doing it over in Europe. They're doing it here with our brothers and sisters in Canada. And it's not so much that they're anti anything. It's not that. It's more that they don't feel that your decisions should be stripped away from you, because you start doing that and people just give into it and everything else starts to fall apart. This is the year of the Pluto returns in the USA. This is the year where we are focused and we are direct and we want things to change. Do you want to be scared for the rest of your life? Do you want to have to prove with papers that you got something that isn't even, you know, working, because you have the 3 times the amount of people with it after this full year, and you've got blood clots, you've got people with heart attacks, you've got people dropping dead, And you can look all of that up yourself. And I'm sure you guys are aware of it. And for people to continue to push that on you, knowing, number one, 3 times as many people are getting the C, okay? 3 times as many people are becoming very ill, okay? They still won't let you just say, okay, I've had my 2, shots or whatever. I've had the 2 of them. Now they want another one and another one and another one. The bar is being raised all the time. So, of course, people are going to say no. That's a load of crap. Because if you remember, okay, before all of this stuff, the flu was the thing that, was bad. The numbers were huge, much bigger than what we've had with C, okay? Numbers for flu around the world were huge compared to the C, right? But nobody said to you, in order to work, that you had to have a flu shot, right? Did they? Did you know if your co-worker had a flu shot before? Did you hate on them because they did or because they didn't? Did you have to know their personal business to make a point? So the people, saying, oh God, it's so dangerous. No, it isn't. Less than 2% of the world in 2 years have passed away with this whole thing. Yes, it's been catchy, but 98% of the world's population have had mild symptoms and gone home. So all this BS of, well, at least I won't be hospitalized if I, have my jib jab. I'm not going to be hospitalized. I don't think there's many people that were, because most people went home. These are the statistics, right? So look them up, worldometer.info. Go for it. I've done many videos on this, okay? So we have to say no, enough is enough. Another variant, another thing, another thing, another thing, another thing. Do you want your life controlled by a government? Because that is not how it's supposed to be. The government is supposed to work for you, not the other way around, right? So we have to say enough's enough, and it should be okay. Should be okay. Children should not be having this thing. You've got to ask yourself, like I said in the beginning of this video, what you put into your body. And people say, well, we don't know what the ingredients are in a burger, but we'll eat that anyway. It's not about ingredients, okay? It's about the energy of this being so quickly pushed upon the people without being thoroughly tested for the normal period of testing. And that when they did test it, all the animals died. Hello. Have a look at the lawsuits against the pea company that has the jib jabs. Go have a look at the lawsuits, and J&J. Have a look at the lawsuits, what they've been charged with, and we're still just going for it. So I just believe in choice. I don't really care if someone else has had theirs and you feel better about it. Go for it. Live your life. I personally am never going to have that thing. And I have not had any inoculations since I was a baby, and I didn't have a choice, and I'm not going to force that or my beliefs on anybody else either. But I do know one thing. If we put something that stops and changes our DNA into our body, it's going to be irreversible, the damage that it does. Okay. And yes, you can have a very positive attitude, and you can be very, very in tune and intuitive and all of those things. And you can focus on the positive aspects of whatever it is that you've chosen in your life. And I truly believe that. I know that there's many of my friends out there that's had no choice, as they say, but to do what they were told. And now everything's going to change and everything's going to fall apart, because the truth is going to come to the surface so hard that this is what we have to prepare ourselves for. This is why I am creating a place to teach you, because you are going to have people coming left, right, and center over the next couple of years, looking for some true type of understanding, scared out of their brain, right? And at the same time, there's going to be a lot of people that are forward focused and, you know, moving ahead and healing themselves and all those wonderful things, okay? But for those people who were blindly just going along with this whole thing, you know, and just living their life like that, I don't know why, but, you know, living their life in the fear and listening to what the media says and all that sort of thing, they're the ones that are going to need it the most. They're going to need the help. And, you know, people with their big, long explanations as why it's okay, I don't want to hear it. It's not okay to do this to people, you know. And as we push forward through this year, and I'm telling you, and I told you from last year, or well, from 20, when the whole thing started, you know, we have to remain strong. We have to remain vigilant in what we're doing. We just have to continue to remember, you know, if this had happened 10 years ago, we would be telling people to go F off, right? And instead of just going, oh God, oh God, well, the numbers really, hardly anyone's passing away from this. Nothing's happening, but we better, you know, do as we're told and be good little soldiers, and, you know, and we had enough. The energy of Pluto returning to the United States for the first time in 248 years is with us on the 22nd. So next Tuesday, between now and next Tuesday, you watch what happens, okay? You're already seeing it. Things are going to get changed, okay? Things are going to get tougher in some places because they have lost their control over the people and they're frightened. So they're going to try to place more control on people. You have to stand firm. Stand firm, okay? There's something happening here where we are, in Colorado as well. We're a part of it, okay? So I'm just here for freedom for the people, freedom for your rights, standing up for your rights, and standing up for your spiritual energy as well. You know, no one should be able to take away your freedom. We worked too hard for it. Our ancestors shed their blood for it, died, you know, all over this country, especially the United States. All over the place, people have died trying to stand up for, you know, this country, and then we just let it go. I don't think so. So what happens here has a ripple effect. You know, what's been happening here has been terrible to witness, but it's all changing. It's crumbling. One thing after the other, we're having victories, one thing after the other. And, you know, again, I want to emphasize that, you know, I don't hold any grudges or judgment or anything about the people. It's not the people's fault that all this has taken place. It's not the people's fault that they've been forced into doing something against their will because they need the money to survive, because everything's gone through the roof, right? Everything. It's like $400 just to go shopping a week. You know, you know what I'm saying? And it used to be, you know, you could get away with that kind of thing for nearly a month. Now it's like a week. Now everything's jacked up. You know, electricity bills are double the price, and the money's going down for people, right? It can't continue this way. You know, trying to starve us out or something, right? It's not going to continue. And people have already shown that they've had enough. And it will continue to be this way. I really hope it remains peaceful. It doesn't start to get, you know, ridiculous or violent or anything like that. But I can tell you what, this will change history, what we are all doing right now, what we've all been through right now. It will change history. And we are together in this whole thing. Okay, again, I'm not picking on any person. I am sick of the darkness having its hand squashed down on everybody's throat. And I know that they're in their last throes now, as they say. They are in the last of it all. They haven't got anything else. Whatever these emergency measures they have in Canada are, they're terrified. Okay. Again, these people don't even look like the same person. It's all been theatre. okay? And we need to give ourselves a break from it all. And, I get told sometimes, well, we just should be focusing on, we shouldn't be talking about all this or whatever. Well, I'm sorry, but we're living this right now as spiritual beings. And we must show empowerment to each other, for each other. And that's my mission too, is like, you've got this. You intuitively know right from wrong for yourself. You don't need someone else to make those decisions for you, or force you to make those decisions, or bribe you to make those decisions, or make it harder until you do. Coercion is not consent, right? They should not be doing this to the people. It is disgusting. And I'm not going to sit here going, oh, well, we just won't worry about it. We're just going to brush over it now and forget it, because that is not what it's going to take. What it's going to take is our thoughts pushing into the future, our thoughts creating this change. Use the full moon energy to give you the confidence to say no when you need to let go of people who are bullying you around, no matter who they are, right? Empower yourself to speak up for yourself, in a loving and compassionate way, of course. Don't take anyone's BS though. Don't do that anymore. Where they're like trying to manipulate you into doing something because you're a good person. Don't let that happen anymore to yourself, because you deserve to have everything that you would like to manifest in your life. You've put the effort into everything, trying to be smooth about everything in your life and moving forward into your own goals, dreams, and wishes and hopes and desires and all that sort of stuff. And it starts with standing up for ourselves energetically, and then everything else flows from there as well. And this is why I wanted to do a message from Kuan Yin. The angel for February is Barakiel. He is the angel of miracles or small miracles. He will help you find lost items. He will help you have confidence in yourself and your forward path. He will help you to not have to explain yourself to everybody about everything. He will bring you into a new energy where it's harder and harder and harder to see darkness. It's just because you're just in this flow of positivity, and although we have to deal with it sometimes and it comes up and we've got all this BS going on, and good people, the best people, are being suppressed and held down, and people who are damaging and full of it are right up there, exalted. It should be the other way round. Good people should be at, not at the top or anything, but they should be honored for what they do, for humanity, for people. They should be honored for that, not kicked into the dirt for what they give all of the time, and all of you are in that category of, just, even if you don't realize it, you're in a category of being pushed to the wayside if you let it happen. And again, it is time for us all to come together in unity, understanding everyone's point of view, of course, understanding what people believe in and what they don't, understanding that if you've had to do something that, it's not my business what you've done to your body, but what the governments are trying to do to our body is disgusting, and it's not going to be allowed to continue. I'm telling you, it's really not. So we just have to remain strong when we start seeing, it get out of control or whatever's going to happen. We just have to remember, okay, the worse things get, the more scared that they are of all of us, that we're winning. And we've already won anyway, but these are like the last cards, okay, that they're showing their hand right now. You don't do that unless you're ready to fold, okay? You don't show what you have in your hand unless you're either won the game, right? Or you're going to fold and you don't care. And that's what's happening here. So we've won, everybody. You need to remember that, okay? Let's look at the crystal mandala and get a big message for us all. Okay. All right. So we ask to be protected through all directions of time and space as we are listening to the messages. You open your heart to receive blessings of abundance and a clearing of any negative vibrations around you. You ask for a connection into the center of the earth and anchoring yourself there and into the center of the universe. And you place yourself in a triple shield of protection. And as your sovereign being of light, that's what you're commanding, that you are protected. And that whatever you experience in your life, even if it is negative, it's there for you. You've asked for it in one way or another. So don't think that you're being punished, Trust in this process. I know it's hard, all right, but trust in the process, okay? All right, I'm just going to close my eyes for a moment. Oh, Ascended Master White Matthew and Dan Barite, Original Self, it says. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Original Self. Okay. Yeah, I sliced my finger this morning, so there we go. Because I was rushing, that's what happened. All right, so 30. All right, we ready to listen? Here we go. Okay. We bring you the blessing of original self. As you progress through your life, learning and growing, you gain wisdom and strength. You grow more radiant and authentic, true to who you are. And as this happens, many of the layers of identity begin to fall away. What you once believed yourself to be is shown to be not much more than clothing your soul wore for a time. You've outgrown it. It's no longer a good fit. It constrains too much, doesn't reflect your personality, vibrancy, uniqueness, and beauty. So you discard it. Perhaps you're able to be more spiritually naked. A sense of who you are becomes simpler. You are just you. Others may or may not get you, but nonetheless, you are still just you. You are freeing yourself from the projections of others, of the world, and simply living as your original, radiant, divine self. So the blessings of the original self empowers you to, I don't know if you're going to really be able to see it because it's so white, empowers you to free yourself from expectations, judgments, control, and manipulations of others, right? Oh, look. It helps you reclaim any power you've ever given to another to determine how you should feel about yourself and what you're supposed to be. You've tried to fit into roles and identities in the past based on how you thought you should behave rather than how you authentically feel. At times, you've tried to bend and mold yourself to meet external expectations, and this felt constraining to your soul. You might have done it for what you felt were good reasons, but you've grown to the point where you understand there's never a reason that makes changing who you are worthwhile or distorting who you are. Now you're ready to break free of constraints, expectations, and projections and dare to be yourself unapologetically, truthfully, lovingly, and proudly. As you take that step, you are honoring yourself and you are honoring the source. The great creative intelligence that designed you to be you are in truth. As you are in truth. Shaking off projections from others takes sacred anger and compassion, courage, and a will to love ourselves. One way to be empowered to do this is to remind yourself that projections are not about you. They are about the wounded fantasies of the people making the projection. These wounded fantasies prevent real connection and real love from taking place. They are an invisible wall of expectation that keeps love at bay. People often give opinions very decidedly about others that they've never personally met and know nothing about them. Then there are the projections from those who are in personal relationship with, which can become so powerful that over time we begin to believe that what others want us to be rather than what we know ourselves to be deep within. If you have people in your life whom you love, but who try to change you, manipulate you, or have become angry when you don't meet their expectations of who they believe you should be, you must take care of yourself. You have been created by divine design for perfect purpose. For you to be able to live your life purpose, you have to be who you are, right? If you are an open sort of personality, as many on the spiritual path are striving to be, you must be you must be sure you are strong enough within. So the openness, hang on a minute. So the openness you have to others doesn't result in you becoming confused about who you are and what you're here for. Because you know, on the spiritual path, sometimes it just feels like you're there to just do everything all the time and give everything all the time, you know, and like that's somehow expected of you. I know that that's how I feel sometimes. It's just expected of me to do everything all the time. And it's really not. It's just a feeling that I get sometimes, you know, that everything is about doing and, you know, just doing. And sometimes it's hard, okay? After 30 years of doing, it's hard sometimes to have to keep on pushing forward. And sometimes we all get exhausted, you know? So don't feel guilty about saying no to the projections of others about you. You don't need to convince anyone of anything, nor have you anything to prove. You can say no firmly, but with loving kindness in your heart as you feel safe and secure in claiming your true self, your true values, and your wants and needs as your own. Others may choose to live in their fear-based need to control and manipulate, okay? That is their choice, as I said. And you must respect their right to choose. But that does not mean that you have to agree with them. You are allowed to choose to have people in your life who see you and love you for who you are. No one else can choose you if you do not choose yourself. Don't wait for permission to discover and be your real self. You are beautiful and you need to be you now. If you don't know who that is, it's time to get to know yourself and find out. You are worth the time. You are worth the effort. And the world needs you to be you, no matter if others think they know better than the divine about how you should have been created. If you are yet to find clarity in those matters of who you are and why you're here, then this brings you a blessing. This is the blessing of confirmation that your original self, your innate divine essence is intact, untainted, and will be revealed to you in full beauty. To help you discover your true self, why not go back to the original you through the years? And this is funny because I've just taught a whole class on timelines as well. What has always had meaning for you? What did you love to do as a child? What did you dream of now? If you could fantasize your perfect life into reality, what would it look like? Get to know you, and you'll find the original you shines through, like the sun being seen more clearly as the clouds clear. With this blessing, it is only a matter of time before the innate, real, authentic, and original you that you've always been deep within is revealed. And we're going to integrate this process of the original self, okay? We call upon the crystal angel of Danbarite and ascended master White Matthew, who love me unconditionally. Thank you for the divine healing blessing of my original self. I invite the true me to come out and play, to be revealed, to be loved, to be free. May I be blessed and assisted in all ways to uncover and discover the original beauty of my divine nature, passion, and purpose, so I can fulfill my divine life mission this lifetime through unconditional love and my own free will. So be it. And then we further integrate this guidance, okay, by saying, I choose of my own free will through this and any lifetime and through all layers of my entire being to forgive, release, and free myself unconditionally from any judgment, shame, confusion, doubt, manipulation, or projection about who I am. May all beings be free and supported to discover and love who they are and why they are here. Through divine grace and unconditional love, so be it. So remember what it said right at the start here. We bring you the blessing. I'm just going to read you this one paragraph one more time, okay? We bring you the blessing of original self. As you progress through your life, learning and growing, you gain wisdom and strength. You grow more radiant and authentic, true to who you are. And as this happens, many of the layers of identity begin to fall away. What you once believed yourself to be is shown to be not much more than clothing your soul wore for a time. You've outgrown it. It's no longer a good fit. It constrains too much. Doesn't reflect your personality, vibrancy, uniqueness, and beauty, so you discard it. Perhaps you are able to be more spiritually naked. The sense of who you are becomes simpler. You're just you. Others may or may not get you, but nonetheless, you're still just you. You are freeing yourself. Oh, there's two cats that came yesterday to me on the fence. I just think I saw one of their heads. You are freeing yourself from the projections of others of the world and simply living as your original, radiant, divine self. Okay? So this particular energy empowers you to free yourself from expectations, judgments, control, and manipulation of others, right? Reclaim any power you've ever given away to determine how you should feel about yourself and what you're supposed to be. I know many people have lost who they are in this terrible hypnosis psychosis that we've had over the last couple of years. They've lost who they are. They've lost their way. They've, lost their identity. They've lost their homes. They've lost their families. They've lost friends. They're in another country. They're all over the place. And, they are fighting back at the wrong people as well. I see that happen a lot as well. A lot of people are fighting back or taking it out, taking their stress out on the ones that they, care about the most in some cases. And, just take it out, right? And you've been acting how you think you should behave. And again, I do that as well. I feel like I am trapped sometimes, to be honest with you all, in, I'm so I'm so connected to humanity and wanting you guys to get it. Like, push forward. Forget the mask, drop the mask and be who you are. You know, I'm so empowered to give you that message. I'm instructed from my spiritual light team, okay, to give humanity a message, right, of hope, forward movement, strength in who you are. And as an underdog myself, I am there for all of you who are underdogs as well. That we together are much stronger together than we are talking about everybody and in blaming, others who have done this or done that or whatever. We have to be unique to ourselves. We have to be strong in ourselves and our beliefs, regardless of what that means, and this energy through myself, for myself, and I'm going to speak about myself just right now, is exhausting, because sometimes it feels like no matter what I say or no matter what I do or how much I do and how much I give and how much I show and how much I teach and how much I get the information and share it with you all, sometimes it just feels like you're still tossed to the wayside, that someone else is better, that someone else is bigger, that someone else has more, or whatever it is. I don't know. And yet I wake up every day. How am I going to help today? What am I going to do today? How am I going to live today? What am I going to manifest today? Oh, I better do a video. Oh, I better do this. I better do that, all the time, every single day. Excuse me. And my throat is going and my eyes are going and my emotion is right on the surface for you all, because this has been terribly hard for myself as well. With all of this distance and BS and held down and all of this nastiness and people expecting so much out of one person sometimes, right? And I get over it because I know how to do that and I know how to empower myself, right? And I know how to kick it off and allow myself to have feelings. I know how to do that. And I'm just telling you all that sometimes it's not easy for me either, okay? And I'm still here. Like, I'm still showing up for you all. I get notifications that I've done this wrong or I've done that wrong, or I should have said this in my video, or maybe it meant this. And it's like, fuck off. Really? Sorry to swear, but Jesus, sometimes it's like, is that what you're getting? This one little thing you're getting out of the video, it's like the energy of darkness is just sitting around so much, just waiting to pounce, waiting to pounce on the people that are doing good. And that's all of you as well, waiting to get you, waiting to grab you, trying to convince you that things don't work. Right? And life is not easy and it's not meant to be easy. Like, totally, I get it. And there is, a fight. There is a fight in me that you would not believe. I have some kind of, I don't know, I have some warrior instinct or something. But I am telling you right now that even a warrior of light, even a teacher of, truth, trying to be, has their moments. Okay, I'm sure Jesus wept. It's in the Bible, right? It's actually the shortest verse of the Bible. But there just has to be sometimes where, and this is true for all of us. This is just me on the surface. I can't do anything about what's happening right now because there it is, There are things that we have to do here that, it's not all fun and games, okay? With your spiritual path, it's not easy. Because if it was, everybody would do it instead of ignoring who they are and, just doing everything to destroy themselves, to live life to destroy themselves, to do what they're told their whole life and live how the society wants them to live and do as they're told. Geez, that would be the easy way. I don't know. I can't do that though. It would be so easy for me though, I'm telling you right now, to just cancel everything. Me and my husband sell everything that we own, buy ourselves a camper van and get the hell out of Dodge with the dogs, and just live a life like that rather than trying to keep everything going all of the time, because that would be easy. That would be fun as well. And hey, that may even happen, right? But, the harder way is to show up all of the time, and you all have to do this as well. You're showing up wherever you are. You're having to be there. You're having to push forward despite the family doing this and the kids doing this, and this one's destroying their life, and this one's talking about you, and this one's jealous of you, and this one hates your guts, and all you've done is been nice and kind and understanding and forward moving, and hey, let's be positive about this, and let's just move ahead, and let's empower ourselves, and we've got this. And people being confused about their kids because the kids don't want to talk and they don't want to do this because they're all distracted on their phones and their games and BS that they talk themselves into because they have social phobia now, because that's exactly what the powers that be, the dark cabal, whatever the hell it is, wants the kids to do, is to not wake up. So they're just going for it. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna get this jib jab so then I can go party, yoo-hoo. Well, great, now you've got clots in your legs, and now you've got heart problems that you shouldn't have as a young person, and now you've got stress inside of you that you didn't have before, and now you're vague and you don't even know how to keep a sentence together because you're like a zombie. I've lost my two children are just like the two that have had the thing because they've had to. It's just different. I'm sorry, but it is. And I know my kids. And I know that there's others out there. You guys see your kids as well. And it's different. People that I know are different. And they don't know that they're different, And this is what we're dealing with. This is what's coming forward into our life, is these people that will see the truth here coming up really soon. And they're going to need help and assistance, and I know this to the core of my being. And this is why I have been how I have been. I've been confident and strong and tough and all of those things because I know that's what we've got to do. But at the same time, I see what people are going through, and that you need to see sometimes that I go through it as well, because I know that I say that I do, and I know that I tell you that I do, and I know that I do, right? But sometimes, it's just raw. It's just what it is. And I wasn't expecting this to happen today, like, of course, but it is a Leo full moon tomorrow, so maybe that's what it is. But, I'm a human too. And sometimes the strain or the pressure that the divine gives me sometimes for my task, I'm usually completely on top of it, right? But the last 2 days, and even though I'm doing my work and having my, fun and laughing my head off, this is how it is. The last 2 days, there's been a sadness, okay, that of the all-encompassing energy of it all, of people fighting for their freedom, people marching when they shouldn't have to be, people fighting with their family and they can't see them, we can't travel, we can't go anywhere. And then it's worse and worse and worse, even though the numbers are like 3 times as much, and then they're still pushing it, even though it's causing more damage. And they're still pushing this, and you can't say this and you can't say that because it might offend this person and that one and this one. And the pressure gets to be too much. And if it's too much for someone who's usually really, really strong, I can only imagine what it's like for people who don't have that strength. And that's what hurts me too. You know, some of these people haven't got anyone to talk to, and they've got nowhere to turn, and they're unwell, you know, really unwell. And as I told you, like the energy of people that I know, my family and all that, my children, I just like, it's different. And that should never happen. It should never happen to any of us to have to go through what we've all been through. And we have this original self message about, hey, we got to think about all the things that we wanted to be. Know that that's still there. Know that that's still there inside of you, right? Know that that's still there, that you can heal, you can change, you can fix anything. I'm certain of it. I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it with my husband, people I know, my clients. I've seen them go from strength to strength to strength. You know, I know that life can be extremely difficult, especially with all this nonsense laid on top of it all as well. And I know that only a handful of times in my career have I ever been in tears on a video, right? But it's just how it is. It's just how I'm feeling at this point in time. You know, that some of you really need to get this together in your own way and in your own life. And remember that healers and readers and people who are spiritual are also trying to deal with everything in their own life, right? And with your stuff as well, and help you. And maybe one day, I mean, we don't do this work because we want exaltation and praise and all this shit. You know, we're not doing it for that. We're doing it because we know, like, there's compassion for humanity there. We love humanity. We want you all to just work out that you can heal absolutely everything in your life. And it takes effort for us to do that. You know, it can be really hard because you're expected to be a certain way all of the time, you know, and I'm just not. I'm just a rebel. I'm not going to be what somebody else wants me to be. I'm not going to live my life how I should be living my life. I'm not going to go to church, you know, and praise religion when I can talk to God and Jesus and Mother Mary and all them anytime I want to, and so can you. I'm not going to, it's not the energy of praise that I'm against, because that is beautiful, right? It's the people behind it all. Once again, everyone thinking that they're all safe and they're all good and they're all wonderful, and there they are manipulating every single one of you. You know, same with spiritual people. There's darkness in there too, right? There's an umbrella that they're under right now, and there's infiltrated people in there that are just mental, okay? And they're not helping you, they're harming you. And people are so desperate right now to have some kind of what's going to happen in the future thing, instead of creating the future for themselves, that those people are just sitting back, you know, loving it. And you got to remember that there is this energy vibration of darkness that is there trying to stop the light from spreading any further than what it has already, right? So you got to be really careful here. So the last thing that I'm going to do, it's probably going to make me cry again, is a Kuan Yin compassionate message for us. Okay, so we'll bring the healing in towards the end. Now, don't get me wrong. There is no way that I will ever quit, okay? There's no way that any one person, place, thing, government, anything would ever stop me. Okay? But I just wanted to tell you that sometimes, even in my own life, I have my own hurt too, just like you all. And guess what? There's only my husband there. And that's fine. You know, sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes it's overwhelming to push everything behind you all the time and be the tough guy, you know? Sometimes even the tough guys need to admit how they're really feeling. And if that's what happened today, that's what I did. So if I offended anyone, it wasn't my intention, okay? And if you're offended by something that I say, you may have to look at that, because I'm not here about any one person. I'm here about humanity. And the truth of who we are is far more greater than what you have been led to believe, okay? And that's what I'm trying to get through to this world. All right, so let's see what Kuan Yin says, and the dogs are right out there. Okay, here it is. This is the card that was on the top, and now it's on the top again. The Amaryllis lute. Amaryllis lute. Now this is going to make us all feel this energy of the Amaryllis lute, okay? Kuan Yin. Okay, you have won a victory, beloved. A victory over the past, and the Amaryllis lute is sounding through every cell of your being, heralding your rising vibration as you leave fear behind you once again. In fact, the lute says you're growing fast, and spiritually you are outgrowing your old life even more so. When your vibration changes, so too does your life, beloved. This is natural, it is safe and loving for you to release that which no longer feels right for you. Right now, especially in a full moon. No matter how much it was important in your old life, it might not have the same place in your new life. Just as a musical instrument can play notes at higher or lower vibrations, your own vibration is being refined as you are growing so fast spiritually. This is wonderful. Be brave as you trust that you are allowed, indeed you are spiritually encouraged to allow your vibration to continue rising, even though that sometimes means leaving people, places, situations, and things behind. Some people and situations will grow with you at an equal pace. Others will meet you in the next upward spiral of your unfolding consciousness and life path. And still others will weigh you down, and you will need to let them go so that they may live their own destiny according to their own choices and timing. The more you allow yourself to raise your vibration, to shine victorious in your journey from fear to peace, the more you will be able to benefit from the quick unfoldment of your higher destiny in your life. The Amaryllis lute calls you upwards into your own soul vibration. This healing instrument of the Divine Mother, Goddess Kuan Yin, sounds within your cells, helping you continue to raise your vibration into peace. You will feel the effect of the Amaryllis lute when you feel that you want to be more discerning about what you consume and how it might affect you positively or negatively. It's like they always read my minds, these cards. This might be food, it might be relationships, energies, visuals, or reading material and music, environments, emotional tendencies, and certain friendships or work environments. This doesn't require stringent or fanatical approaches, but the lute opens you up to greater awareness of how you best work to raise your own vibration. You don't have to make dramatic changes to have dramatic effects. Even a small change in not gossiping, in choosing not to engage in non-constructive arguments can make a world of difference. Choosing to smile more, to be gentler and kinder to yourself and others, to not be a doormat, and to be firm and loving about meeting your own needs are ways to raise your vibration too. Chanting, meditation, and dance can help. Sorry. Let the amaryllis lute sound and guide you to the most beautiful and enjoyable ways for your vibration to rise. Remember that what works for another may not work for you, so it is an experiment and a fun one at that. So stay true to your spiritual principles, for your spiritual victory will be great indeed. See? So you're allowed to have a meltdown, you're allowed to get upset, you're allowed to be angry, you're allowed to throw things, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do, but you always bring yourself back around. And that's what happens to me too, just like anybody else. So find a private place in nature where you can walk around in a spiral, okay? And I want you to try to imagine doing it in your mind's eye, starting in the center. And just start in the center and imagine yourself going around in a spiral, like just moving out and further out. You're just moving, around the spiral. Say, I now choose to release that which no longer serves my vibration, that which has held me back in fear or poverty consciousness, in illness or depletion or codependency. I release it, set myself free to be more of me in love, peace, and power, so be it. You begin to walk around the spiral in whatever direction feels good for you, imagining that with each conscious step inside of you, a beautiful lute, which releases amaryllis flowers into your heart, is sounded. Imagine that with each sound, your vibration is rising, like your soul sounding a higher note, and you are releasing old energies. Take your time and stay with the process. And as you start to walk, keep your steps very small. And as you make the spirals bigger, move outwards with bigger steps until you feel lighter and freer. And then you say, I honor this commitment to myself. I will allow raising my vibration to be a priority. I give myself full permission to do this now in loving service to my soul and the planet, so be it. Your beauty triumphs. Your sound so pure causes my heart to soar. My vibration rises and my cells are flooded with divine light. I know myself as love. Om Mani Padme Hum. Wow. Okay. So you're moving into this new cycle regardless. And we always do that when we have a full moon. We finish off all of this crap, and that's what I was saying to you all. And then we move boldly forward into the next adventure. What did you ask for yourself? You could even go back to my video on the Lionsgate 2021. Go back, and what were we talking about? We were bringing in some things. We were manifesting some things. And how many of those things do you see now? How many things are changed? A ton. A lot has changed. And even though sometimes it feels like we're off of the path, we're actually more fully, solidly on it than ever before. And even though sometimes I say, God, this is where I'm at and this is what's happening, and me being all upset and all that sort of stuff, that's just how it is. I don't control these videos. I don't have anything in front of me other than the message of February 2022's full moon. The rest of it is just here. I trust everything that I talk about has some kind of relevance, yes, to what you're going through. And maybe if it makes you feel better that you've been having a meltdown, or you've been really peed off with how you keep getting torn in so many different directions that it's so hard to even, do anything for yourself. But the next day comes along and all of that's gone and you've got it off of your chest and the whole next day starts again. And that's exactly how I am. I'll get myself upset, but it's only because I've been ignoring it for weeks. And then it'll finally come out, and then I'm like, wow, okay, well, that was fun on video, and it's just how it is, and we are changing and we've had to adapt, okay, to all of this psychological stuff. And we're adapting. I think we're tired of it now, though, right? And we can stick together and keep moving forward. And I'll be here as long as there is a YouTube, I'll be on Facebook as long as there is a Facebook, because I don't want to give them that satisfaction of leaving or being thrown out or whatever they're going to do to me. I don't know. But at the same time, I know all of this is coming down. Like the wall is just crumbling, okay? No matter how you want to think of it, that wall is crumbling away from us. And we are moving into a brand new vibration. And this is why we're feeling the sadness of it all, because it's been so unnecessary. Absolutely. It's been so unnecessary what we've been through, and we're not going to allow that to happen again. If we want a new vibration on this earth, we have to be it each individually, and that will create it, rather than leaving the work up to a certain few or whatever. You must all embrace and empower yourselves now and move forward fearlessly into the future with nothing but a optimistic outlook, and not having to know how it's all going to unfold, just that it's already happening, and that we will be guided, and that we will be, moving forward into it. And if something comes up in our life, that it's there for our healing, right? It's there for our journey. And then we move to the next thing, and life becomes much more of an adventure as well. So thanks for the patrons that have been sticking with me, and for the awesome students that are at the Light Leaders Academy. I have so much to teach you all, it's not even funny. And I know that they're getting a lot out of this. I just wanted to put it out there as well. You do have 6 months interest-free payments options available. So don't be, I can't do it because I can't do it. You've got 6 months to fiddle around with it, whatever you want to do, okay? You can always talk to me about anything as well. So until the next time, thank you so much for being here. And we will be doing another talk coming up here pretty soon. And until the next time, stay safe, many, many blessings, keep strong, okay? And bye for now. Bye.